And if you don't mind, I'll demonstrate. First off, you start your knees and your hips at the top of the swing, lower part of your body. Arms and hands follow, bringing you into position to hit.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back or to Course Language. It's all thanks to Callaway. However you found us, wherever you found us, we're wrapped that you have to talk about the wonderful game that is golf. Sam Hargraves, golf commentator, golf tragic, really. Joined as always by the man who played on tour, won on tour, teaches others to do the same. He commentates on tour. Ryan Lynch. Hello, mate.
Hello, Sammy. It's been a good weekend of golf. Bit of Riviera we love. Paraparaumu over in New Zealand. Some brilliant golf courses to watch this week, as we talk about on this program very regularly. It's the venues that are very important in this game. And, of course, all thanks to our friends at Callaway. I've been hitting the new driver this week, which has been very, very nice.
So you've got your Quantum, just waiting to receive mine. How have you found it so far? Because we did the testing and did the fitting out at the Quantum launch, which we've got some great content that's going to be coming the Course Language members' way, including this episode as well. We've been really excited to bring a great chat that we have with someone who's doing remarkable things in the world of golf. He's just won multiple gold medals in tennis, wheelchair basketball as well, 15 Grand Slams, is a wheelchair tennis player, one of Australia's greatest ever athletes, and now doing, as I said, remarkable things in golf. Dylan Alcott's our special guest that we caught up with at the Callaway launch. How have you been finding the Quantum?
Well, I mean, the driver itself looks so good when you put it down. It's one of those classic Callaway-looking drivers. I think anyone who had the AI smoke, it looks similar to that. And just the speed off the face has been. It's been a little while since I've upgraded my driver. It's probably been about 4 years or so. I've been really happy with the previous one,
There's been a lot that's happened in
this
4 years
slot
with
in.
technology.
This one's slotted straight in without any problem, so I'm enjoying it, Sammy.
It has been a big week, so there's some incredible results that we'll get to in around the grounds, and there's some big news stories as well to sink our teeth into. The Scramble's back for another week as well, but it's fair to say that in our fledgling podcasting career, if you call it that, in the journey that is the Course Language podcast, we probably haven't had as big a response to anything that we've done as we did to an innocuous little chat last week, Lynchy, where I brought to you, or we spoke about what had happened with Callaway offering us both a bag with our name on it. And I told the story when I told you about that, how you responded, and your very stern words that I was not to get my name put on the bag. And then we thought we'd put it out to the Course Language family. And we've got a whole lot of feedback via the Instagram. We've even been discussed on one of our employers, one of my longtime employers, SEN, Hutchie and Pickers as well. So it's fair to say that this has gone here, there, and everywhere. Just tell me some of the people that have hit you up specifically to tell me under no uncertain terms should I be getting my name on a bag.
Well, I mean, I had a few professionals reach out to me and slide into my DMs and said, well done, mate. Talked him off the edge there, talked him off the cliff. It is, look, it's tempting. Don't get me wrong. It's tempting to have your name on your golf bag. I also had a bloke, a very good friend of mine yesterday who's involved heavily in the golf industry, explain it to me like you could rock up to a dojo if you wanted to and purchase a black belt and whack that on and walk around the dojo with your black belt on, but you haven't quite earned it. So, yeah, unanimously at this stage, it's been we were on the right track. So you said you're not going to get your name on your bag, and I thought Mike Clayton, the godfather of Australian golf, I thought he nailed it. That was about as friendly as he could have put it. What did he say?
No names. If you're playing well, they'll find out who you are. If you're playing bad, you don't want them to know who you are, which was a Gardner Dickinson quote, and he suggested that we Google him. So when Mike Clayton speaks, we listen, as we should, the Reverend. So it was just extraordinary. You know, Adam Crossway, state cricketer, he jumped in and said, "Why? No, you should absolutely do it." Some other people saying no, but you can get your kids' initials, and I responded, well, they're not professional either, so I'm not doing that.
Don't
that was
mind
from
that.
Nick Tuddenham at Brighton.
An initial is a little different, I think. Like if your wife gets you a golf bag, let's say that she gets you a Callaway golf bag or something online and gets your initials on there, you can almost get away with that, I reckon. But your full name embroidered across the front of a tour bag, not on. Now, there was some strong response, especially in your major workplace, Sammy. Should we have a listen to that now?
Well, I haven't heard that. You told me that when we jumped on just before we started recording, you said, have you heard that you've been given a clip from Hutchie and Pickers on Off the Bench? Now, I always fill in for Hutchie when he's not there, which is sort of most weeks, and he takes an early mark, the boss. But I hadn't caught up on the whole episode yet, and I had been firing some messages to Pickers who had a clip at me earlier in the show about a couple of things and some very kind words about my footy commentary, of course. I didn't know anything about this, so you're going to play it to me. And we're going to have a right of reply. So was this part of their McCrazies segment?
It was. In fact, it was another professional who called me and said, hey, they're just having a crack at your mate Sammy Hargraves on Off the Bench. I'm listening on my way to Pennant at the moment. So he was off to Pennant. He said it's a good laugh. Here it is right now.
Oh, yeah, it's our little mate who we talked about earlier in the show, Sammy Hargraves. This is him. Now, it's like wearing a baggy green. If you haven't deserved to be given a baggy green, don't put one on your head.
You can't go and buy one at
Don't buy a baggy green and pretend, I've seen these bozos going to the cricket with their baggy greens. Yep. They're fake. They're fake baggy greens. Now, I don't call that about footy jumpers because that's a bit different, but something like that. A bit of prestige in golf is the pros get bags with their names on.
Yep. Because they're a big deal.
Yeah, they are a big deal. I know this.
What level you got to be? You got a one on the tour somewhere.
You got to be. I don't think pro.
No, yeah, then you got a one. I think.
Yeah, well,
you can't just turn up as a 160th ranked golfer and have a branded bag.
He's got this infatuation with Callaway at the moment. All he talks about is Callaway this and Callaway that. There's no him, but also he's becoming a real. I got a tee time at 12:20. I'm going to have to get straight out of here after. When you're not here, which is most weeks.
But if he starts leaving early, by the way, to get a fill in for himself.
That's half a chance that's going to happen. Because he's become this golf nut, a real nut. And I heard this McCrazy during the week. He's interviewing a pro. Have a listen.
So we are going to be getting the Quantum Tour bags. And what was offered to us was that we would get the Course Language logo, our new logo embroidered on the bag, and our names. And I just happened to mention this to you, and the look you gave me, and then said sort of pensively, are you getting your name on there as well? And I said, yeah. I didn't know that only tour pros can have their name on a bag.
Well, professional golfers, it's a real honour to get your name on your golf bag, and it means that you've played at a certain level.
Played at a certain level. I have played at a certain level.
Not the certain level that's required to get your name on your bag.
Come on, Sam. Now, listen, you just go along and hit your little 98 off the stick every week or whatever you get. But don't be going with don't have your name on your bag. It's a McCrazy, and in you go, Sammy. He's been in a few times because remember, of course, he had his mate going to play for Arsenal.
So there it is, Sammy.
Oh, dearie me. That is a fair drive-by. No one does a drive-by as well as Hutchie and Pickers, of course. But there's just a couple of things to that. First and foremost, a big thanks to Pickers for pumping up Callaway so many times in that, doing our job for us, Lynchy. So we really appreciate that. So thank you, Pickers, for helping us out there with our major sponsor in Callaway, who are also a station sponsor of SEN, it must be mentioned. The thing I take umbrage with there is, as we've done for them, playing their audio from Off the Bench on SEN, where's the accreditation? Where is the reference to say that audio, thanks to the Course Language podcast?
Exactly right.
I do take umbrage to the lack of crediting where the audio come from, which is just common courtesy, I would have thought.
I mean, they're quite big on that as well, aren't they? They're big titans in the media space.
Yes.
You need to credit where you get your information from, don't you? Isn't that part
Absolutely.
of the deal? I'm only
That's
fresh in
101.
this.
That's 101. So first and foremost, let's make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's, please. The other part of it too is where I'll die on this hill. it absolutely was offered to us. And I reckon I can find the email that Michael Gaughan, the marketing manager of Callaway, sent to me to say, would you like, and I've got the email chain that I can go back with and go back through that shows in black and white that we were both offered the bag with our name on it. So that is 100% true. But I can tell you, it is also true that I have become a golf nuffy, and I have started just dressing like I'm playing golf every day of the week. That is true. I am a full-blown golf flog, as they went on to say, and I do dress like I'm just about to play 18 rounds. So I can't refute any of that, but I can refute the fact that we were offered the names on the bag. I've got the emails to prove it. Wouldn't have minded a podcast mention just because that's the done thing. That's the courtesy. But I can assure you that we did get offered. But I will let everybody know right now that they are in the embroider's hands at the moment, and the directive has been sent. The one bag will have the Course Language logo and Ryan Lynch underneath that logo. The other bag will just have the Course Language logo, and that is mine. So no name on the bag. I've heard you. I've listened. I've taken in all the feedback, and the decision has been made.
Members in the tribe have spoken by the sounds of things there, Sammy. But, I mean, very, very entertaining conversation, to say the least, and it's certainly taken legs. I've had a couple of people roll up to me at the driving range over the last couple of weeks at Yarra Bend when I'm giving lessons, coming up asking if they can get their name on their bag with tongue in cheek. So no, we got a good run out of that, and thanks to our friends, obviously, at Callaway. And
the other thing I will say too is where Hutchie was clipping my golfing ability, I think he is forgetting that I've actually played with him, and I have seen him play. Now, given that I do rely on him to keep gainful employment at times, Hutchie, you're the best golfer I've ever seen. That was
talking
good.
about some
I enjoyed
pro
that
as well. I've
What's
done a
that?
bit of work for those guys. I said I've done a bit of work for those guys. They could have looked me up in their Rolodex.
I know they could have said, that was Ryan Lynch
taking
that Sammy was talking to.
I am, and I mean, to be fair, I am right on that edge as well. Should I get my name or should I not? I'm not currently playing on tour, but
you have
what
one
else
on
has
tour
been going on around the world this week, Sammy? What do we got to chat about? Where do we want to go to next?
Well, we got heaps on it, but have you had a hit this week?
I actually played on Thursday. Not very well. The driver was working okay. I need a little tweak with the shaft that they sent me. It was okay. It was nice to get out there on Thursday. I played with Steve and my brother Stephen, my brother Shane, and another young fella.
Did he beat you again?
No, he didn't this time. No. I kept that one in a row was enough for Big Stavros. But it was nice to get out there. Beautiful day. Playing with both my brothers and another young fella named Spencer. We had a great morning, and it was delightful. What about you, mate?
I actually played comp on Saturday morning. Went out early, which was awesome. And I played with a couple of young fellas. It was just the most wonderful company. 15 years of age, Lockie and Jack, and they were very handy young golfers. I think Lockie's off about 15, and Jack doesn't have a handicap, but he wouldn't be far off that either. He went out in 42. Without having a handicap. He was absolutely flushing it. And Lockie had a good back 9 as well. I had 20 points after 9, and I was going along pretty nicely. Finished up with 36, so probably right on the mark. But what I was really happy with after the last time I played, having 43 putts, I was able to get that down to 28. So I had a really good day putting with the Odyssey Giraffe. It probably would have been about 30 putts if I had have counted one of the wipes I had. So I had 2 wipes in the 36. And what really cost me, Lynchy, was that on our 15th hole, which is the second time you play the short par 3, that's you can see the tee from Weatherwood Road. I wandered up there, just been having a little chat to the lads, and teed up. Had my shot, beautiful, 100 out, hit the 50, lovely high draw, bounced past the pin, came back a little. There's a downhill putt to come, very easy up and down par it would have been. Very happy with the shot, only for Lockie to point out, oh, Sam, I think you just teed off on the wrong markers.
Did you run ahead?
So I teed off on the 6th when I should have been teeing off on the 15th. And
Oh, no.
2-stroke penalty. I duffed the 4th or the 3rd and couldn't save a point on that. So that was one of my wipes. That was me teeing off. So there's my course language confessional for the week,
There
by the
you
way,
go.
as well, teeing off from the wrong tee marker. Don't do that. That's a 2-shot penalty. It is brutal.
You were clearly quite eager to tee off, mate.
Well, I was really happy with how I was playing. I wasn't driving the ball as well as I had the earlier week. Like, I wasn't hitting a lot of fairways. I only pulled out driver twice. 3-wood was a bit toss of the coin, flushed a few, missing on a couple, but really happy with what I was doing around the greens, and got to pull out the new 60-degree Opus SP wedge that the Clubhouse Engravers team, the team at Clubhouse Engravers, engraved the little course language logo on that for me, which was really kind. That was waiting for me at the club when I got there. I wasn't aware I was getting it, so that was a beautiful little surprise. First shot I hit with that, I put it within half a foot, so I was very happy. Yeah, I was a bit eager and didn't take the time just to assess my surroundings, and therefore paid the ultimate price. But I'll take the 36 if it was offered to me before the round. I would have taken that and run to the clubhouse. So I was pretty happy there.
Your ball striking was back a couple of weeks ago, so nice to see the putter behaving, mate. That's a very, very important club.
Well, I've had 15 less putts, so that's that goes a long way, I would have thought. So happy to be back in a modicum of form after a rough trot. Hey, news of the week. I'm a bit blown away by this story about the DP World Tour and the guys that they have reached a deal with. And that in itself is a story. But the biggest part of this story, Lynchy, is the fact that Jon Rahm is not one of the names that has done a deal with the DP World Tour to gain a release to play on the Live Tour. This is a pretty big, and this saga continues to roll.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I couldn't wrap my head around it in the beginning. Some of the parameters to be able to play the Live Tour and to be released from the DP World Tour were to pay the fines that are outstanding, to work and do some extra things here and there for the DP World Tour, then play a certain amount of events on the DP World Tour to make sure that you're doing both. You don't have only one foot in one camp. So guys like Tyrrell Hatton, Elvis Smiley, a host of other players have paid the fines and done all the things correctly by the DP World Tour. One of the other dot points was that you had to withdraw any lawsuit or anything like that against the tour was one of the other things. I was baffled to see that Jon Rahm didn't sign up to this, and for a bloke who jumped across there for however many $100 million, that $3 million or whatever it was, around that £3 million mark, doesn't seem like too big of an ask, does it?
No, but and I haven't seen any comments that have been attributed to Jon Rahm in response to this. So Laurie Cantor, Thomas Dietrich, Tyrrell Hatton, Tom McKibben, Adrian Morong, Victor Perez, David Pugh, and Elvis Smiley are the 8 players. But I also think too that, I mean, Jon Rahm came through the European Tour. He has won Ryder Cups representing the European Tour as well. I would. It seems to me this might be a matter of principle for him, because I honestly don't think it's about the money. I think it might be about the principle of it.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems. Yeah, it seems very strange. I mean, this is potentially the biggest news is potentially it's going to keep him out of a Ryder Cup spot. So, and let's be clear as well that these sanctions for the DP World Tour are only for a 12-month period. So for the next 12 months, this is going to be the way things are run. So no guarantees going ahead and beyond this 12-month. But I agree with you. It's going to be an interesting watch to continue to see how this all shakes out, where everything lands, and why Jon Rahm's so steadfast in his position to not pay his fines and to, I don't know if he's got an active lawsuit going at the moment, but I know for a fact he'll want to be playing DP World events and certainly will want to be representing Europe in the Ryder Cup in Ireland in 18 months' time. So, yeah, very, very curious to see how this all plays out and whether or not, as we've spoken about in this podcast many times before, what this means in terms of whether or not Liv and the DP World Tour might be starting to make some moves to work a little bit closer together over the next couple of years.
Well, I wonder if it's that. I wonder if he's happy to let this play out because this isn't a Ryder Cup year. That's not till next year, as we know. So there's going to be a lot of water to go under a pretty large bridge that's going to bridge the time between now and then. And I just think, yep, he could just say, okay, I'll just put it to bed. Or he's thinking, I've got some time here. I think there's things afoot. I think there's conversations being had. I think there's a lot to play out between now and the next Ryder Cup. But he also doesn't mind playing some of the tournaments. He said last year, knowing that those fines were hanging over his head, or was it early this year where the last event he played, he said, this is probably going to be my last event for a while. So he knew the lay of the land. I wonder whether that he is in on something that he knows something we don't. But then again,
Maybe.
if he did, why is Tyrrell Hatton happy to pay it and move on, but Jon Rahm isn't? So that might even contradict what I'm saying. I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is a strange one.
Couldn't agree more. And look, these big stars, these mega stars, of which there are only a handful at the world in professional golf, they should and they do hold a lot more sway than the rest of the professional golfers in the world. Jon Rahm is one of those needle movers, certainly, but I just don't like the fact that if that is the case and if that is what he's playing on, then he's a needle mover. He got paid significantly more than anyone else to go and join Liv. He probably assumed that by joining Liv, it was going to kind of be the straw that broke the camel's back, and bring the tours all together. And that was the US tour was in talks with PIF and Saudi and Liv and at the time. And yeah, just interesting. I mean, as I said off the top, the conditions of the release are pay all outstanding fines, withdraw any appeals against those fines, play additional DP World Tour events, and agree to media and promotional requirements. So they're the 4 things that he has to agree to. Look, maybe he doesn't want to play any extra events. Maybe he doesn't want to agree to the media or the promotional arrangements that DP World are asking. There might be more for him to do than, say, a Tyrrell Hatton, for example. That may be where the sticking point is, but fascinating stuff. I'm curious, as I said, with next year being a Ryder Cup year, those fines are only going to continue to increase if he doesn't pay them now.
Who needs who more? Does the DP World Tour need Jon Rahm whenever they can get him? And does the European Tour absolutely need him to make sure that they continue to hold sway in Ryder Cups? Does Jon Rahm need the DP World Tour for anything? I'm not sure. I'm just putting it out there. Who needs who more? Who's more likely to blink in this? The PGA Tour has blinked. They'll say they haven't, but the PGA Tour has absolutely blinked to allow Brooks Koepka to come back, and they would blink again to let Rahm come back, to bring DeChambeau back, maybe even Cam Smith as well as those most recent major winners. They've blinked. All that stuff, it reads nice, but when you look deeper into it, it's a lettuce leaf sort of slap. So they've blinked. I wonder whether Jon Rahm's just waiting for the DP World Tour to blink as well.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a really fascinating question that you pose. I would have thought Jon Rahm needs to play these 4-round events with a cut and just to get a few more reps in if he wants to compete at the majors this year. He's going to be a fascinating watch during these majors because if he has a year where he's down and doesn't contend in any of the majors this year, then who needs who more becomes a much easier question to answer. At the moment, he is one of those needle movers. He's won a recent Masters. He's a 2-time major winner. But these things do change quite quickly. Players jump up and down into this role very, very quickly, and it doesn't take too many years where you're not contending in majors to fall out of that necessity or that that role. So, yeah, for the
So
price
he'll
tag that
always
it
have
is,
Augusta. So he'll always be able to play there. The US Open. So 2021 is when he won that. He's got 5 years exemption from his last major win on all the others. So he's okay for the moment, but this would be, so 24, 25, 26. This is the third year of the 5 for the others. He'll always have Augusta. What does the US Open give you when you've been a previous winner?
it gives you 10 years. So from your victory, it gives you a 10-year exemption into the US Open. The Masters is lifetime, but remember, he gets a 5-year extension from his most recent major win. So into all the majors.
Yep. So it's really over the next, in 2 years' time, really, he's going to have to see where it all sits for the Open and also the PGA Championship. But for the time being, for the rest of his life, he can play Augusta and play the Masters. And for, the next, he won in 2021, so he'll be able to play there until 2031 at the US Open. Yeah, that's going to be a must-watch, but Rahm ain't blinking yet. So we'll wait and see with bated breath as to how it all plays out. Should we head around the grounds?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Getting the trophy from Tiger is going to be the coolest thing in my life. So I'm sure he's made, I know he's made a million of those little 3-footers, but that was my first one. So maybe I got to get a couple of tips on make those easier because that was hard.
Jacob, congratulations, and congratulations on being a winner on the PGA Tour.
Thank you so much.
Well, let's start with the PGA Tour, Lynchy, because when anyone gets their first win on the PGA Tour, it's a pretty special thing. But to do it at one of the most iconic courses, a course that can lay claim to Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Rory McIlroy never having won at, it's a pretty special day for Jacob Bridgman.
Absolutely. We saw him battling away on the beach last week at Pebble Beach, and he had a 7-shot lead, I believe, at one stage in that final round, and it got a lot tighter than what he would have liked. So you could see the stress, you could see the nerves, really, especially on those last 2 greens on 17 and 18, where he left both of his birdie putts concerningly short. That was not the length of putt that he was hoping for after watching Rory McIlroy make a birdie at the last to get within 1 as well. I mean, even Rory was surprised that putt went in. He couldn't buy one all day. Rory McIlroy played so well tee to green, just could not drop one. Adam Scott was right there as well. Fantastic final round, 63 for our man Scotty. Great to see him back in the mix, obviously. And we had a little chat to Tina Maio, his Osteo, who we work very closely with. We've interviewed her before on the Course Language podcast. And the program that they've set out and that they're working on is continuing to increase his club head speed. His ball speed numbers are incredible at his age. So let's hope that this form just continues for our man Adam Scott. But Jacob Bridgman, Clemson boy. I saw he's got the Clemson paw on his bag. That was the college that we spent a bit of time at when we were living in South Carolina. So it was great to see him get there. And geez, Kurt Kitayama, when he gets in the hunt, he really knows how to find the line.
He was fantastic as well. Adam Scott 8 under bogey free. As you mentioned, Rory couldn't, as you said, buy a putt, but was looming really large coming down the stretch. And it's been another good tournament for Minwoo Lee as well, who finds himself in the top 10 of the FedEx. But Jacob Bridgman hasn't won on the PGA Tour yet. That is his first win after several in his college career. But the start to the year that he's had, he's now at the top of the FedEx Cup rankings or standings, if you will. But he hasn't finished outside the top 20 in any of the events so far this year. At the Sony, he was in a tie for 4th. The American Express, he finished T13. Phoenix, it was T18. And then we saw at Pebble Beach that tied for 8th when he probably didn't have that final round that he was hoping for after being right at the pointy end. And then to finally get it after a consistent 4 weeks of golf is just a credit to him. And he did it with Tiger standing at the back of the green. He said him handing him the trophy is going to be the greatest moment of his career, and rightly so. So, and the commentary said they've found a star. Well, we throw that term around pretty loosely in all sports, but golf as well. I don't know if he's going to be a star because I think star means that it's not just about how you play; it's about what else you bring to the table. How are you someone who brings people through the gate? It remains to be seen whether that's the kind of guy he is. But if you're a golf purist and you are and you just want to watch someone play to the best of their capability each and every week, well, he's certainly doing that.
Yeah, he is. And the quality of his ball striking was still there. I mean, under the pump to hit what I think was that 7-iron into the last to as close as he did, basically knocked the pin out. So, I mean, speaking of stars, and you're exactly right, this game is very fickle at times. The margins are just so razor thin. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he can keep it going and whether he jumps up into that echelon of players, or whether he's just one of those guys that kind of pops in and he has a good few years and he's thereabouts for a while, remains to be seen. But Scotty Scheffler missed his first top 10 for, was it like 8 weeks in a row?
18.
Or 10?
It was going for 19 top 10s in a row. Tiger's best was 11.
Sorry.
So that's amazing.
Incredible. And he finishes one shot outside that mark in a tie for 12th with Minwoo Lee. Nice to see some signs of life from Xander Schauffele as well. We had Ryan Fox, one of our brethren, we'll call him, a big Kiwi man, finished T7. Aldrich Potgieter as well, who we're claiming, who's basically lived in WA and Perth for a good portion of his life, the South African, finished in solo 5th. So it was great to see a couple of those guys who, like it or not, have been probably known for their length more so than their ball striking necessarily. And Potgieter, Minwoo Lee has had that a little bit going around. Jake Knapp, another one who showed this week that the ball striking is certainly there on a golf course that demands high quality iron shots into these tricky greens.
Don't know if I can go with you on Potgieter. I'm putting him. We're going to start a category each and every week on course language. We're going to put them in essentially we're going to put them in the speeding fines category.
Okay.
But it's the reverse speeding fine. This is where, you know how everyone always says, why isn't it against the law to drive too slow out on the road? It actually is. It is against the law to drive too slow. And if police believe that you driving too slow is a detriment to the safety of others, then you can be fined and you can be pulled over. I'm putting these guys in that category. So he's going in there for me, Potgieter. He's going in there with Keegan Bradley. He's going in there with Patrick Cantlay. He's going in there because I videoed him on the 15th hole, round 2, lining up his ball. So in between the time of lining up the ball to the putt going in the hole on what is essentially a foot, Lynchy. It's a foot. If it might be 2. At a stretch, it's 2. 46 seconds.
That's not good.
6 seconds.
So we're not allowed to claim him. Are you saying, or he's just taking too long?
No, you can claim him, but he's getting the speeding fine. He's getting the reverse speeding fine.
Like that.
He's going too slow, and it's a detriment to others.
Okay, love that. We will keep an eye on that. I mean, we've got to be fair to everyone. We can't play favourites on this podcast. We have to call it how we see it. And if you're saying that he's taken too long to line up a very short putt, that's a concern. So we'll have to put a watch on Potgieter.
Well, it's 8.5 minutes if he does that to if every second putt he takes 46 seconds on, then he's adding 8.5 minutes to the round.
There can be. I'm not sticking up for him. I need to see the footage that you've got there.
I'm going to send it to you. Let's go to matters closer to home. We are going to get to the LPGA because it was a fantastic performance from one of Callaway's own, Gino Titicun, winning at home for the very first time. But just you talked off the top about how courses matter. And Paraparaumu, I reckon I'm saying that right, was
I reckon you
what
got
a venue
pretty close
this
there.
is.
Paraparaumu.
What a venue that is,
Paraparaumu.
Lynchy. Yeah, it just extraordinary. I'll get it right eventually. They did test all the players, I noticed, which was a nice bit of social media content. Very few got it right. They've often believed that's one of their, if not the best course, but in the top couple of courses in New Zealand. You've always said that courses matter. and a great course will always beat a great player. That was certainly the case with, I think it was only 2 people finishing in red figures for this tournament. But gee, that course looked incredible and the conditions were so tough. I mean, to get that win that Austin Truslow, the American, did, and we'll talk about him, but that course made everybody earn it. And it was probably the star of the week of the Oz PGA Tour for the New Zealand PGA.
Certainly was. Watching it in that final round when the wind was absolutely whipping, it was blowy all week, which we love to see. I mean, we need conditions still, even with brilliant golf courses like this, to enhance the strategy, enhance the quality of strike, enhance the flight, enhance what the players have to do to get it around that golf course. And Austin Truslow, I mean, that back nine was something else. Ends up winning by 3 over the New Zealand amateur, 17-year-old. Geez, he handled himself well in that final round as well. At 64-67 over the weekend to finish in outright second place. He was very impressive, certainly one to watch. And for those tuning in as well, Chase Koepka playing, MJ Maguire as well, a couple of US players right up there. And your man, Tyler Hodge, was right there in that final group as well, mate.
Yeah.
So it was a great call from you last week.
Yeah, defending champ, and he loves the wind. Well, he grew up playing around Wellington, so this course was always going to suit the way he goes about. He's got an incredible short game. I saw that firsthand. It's what he prides himself on. His ability to wheel the wedge around the greens, especially. Just he really knows how to save himself in those situations, and he's a really accurate player as well. But the smarts to know, how to use the wind to your advantage, how to nullify its impact on the shots that you're playing, how to go under it. Yeah, I saw it firsthand when I played with him at 13th Beach, and know, having spoken to him, that's the element of where those are the elements he feels most at home in, because he grew up playing in them. Just didn't have his best on the final day, but I was wrapped for him, because that tournament win last year, as I said, that turned his life around. He was essentially about to give up on the game, and it gave him another 2 years on the tour. So to see him with a T5 finish, I was wrapped for him, because he's a ripping fella as well.
Yeah, few logos on that shirt as well, just quietly after last year's win. Presumably, he was stapled with them. Great to
He's
see
like
it
a
on
NASCAR driver, wasn't he? Like,
great to see PGA TV going from strength to strength as well. Nice to be able to flick it on. But I mean, we can get back to our winner, Austin Truslow. 5 birdies in his final 11 holes to seal the deal. Those first few, I mean, the front 9 was playing exceptionally difficult. The par 3s was something else. The 5th hole, the 2nd hole, just playing brutally difficult. And he turned it around 3 under par, final round, and gets it done reasonably comfortably in the end.
he credited this tour with having such a big impact on his career, because he was a collegiate golfer. He came to notoriety. He qualified for a start, I think down in Puerto Rico somewhere, and got a televised hole in one. But he's been a journeyman probably since that point, and has spent some time here. But the story came out, I think, after round 3, that he spent a year working with one of our colleagues, Nick Ahern, former world number 16, the only man to beat Tiger twice in match play, as we know. He said that wouldn't have been possible to get that win without the work that he'd done over the last year with Nick.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant insight as well to have Nick in the commentary team, obviously, this weekend, spending as much time with Austin as he has. Did notice that he was chipping one-handed quite regularly as well from time to time, just the right hand, left arm pinned behind his back, but clearly it's working for him. It's actually not a bad drill for anyone at home. Give yourself a couple, even if you have to tee it up a couple of times, just to give yourself a feel of that club head swinging past the handle, particularly for anyone who chili dips the ball or really struggles to get that contact. Typically, it's because you're pulling on the handle or trying to lead with the handle a little bit too much, which can steepen the angle of attack. And that right-handed chipping can help that club pass the handle a little more freely and not sweep the ball, but sort of brush the ground rather than dig into the ground. Now, Nick O'Hearn, last time Tiger Woods played this course at the New Zealand Open, actually tied with him there as well. So can't get away from Tiger Woods, Nick O'Hearn. So they both finished in a tie for 6th, I believe, and Tiger Woods had to make birdie at the last to make the cut. But that was huge back in the day. I think what was it, 2001, 2002, 2003, in that era, in that area there. But yeah, exactly right. The golf course shone. Some of the elevation change, some of the green contours, some of the runoffs around the green. It was spectacular viewing, especially with a little bit of wind around, and some of those bunkers are quite penal as well. I just love how much land movement there was on that golf course, and it was a brilliant watch, and congratulations to Austin Truslow.
Can I, I think I texted both you and Nico straight away after the very last day of the Ford New South Wales Open Regional Qualifier Series. It was at the Link Shell Cove, about half an hour south of where the Women's New South Wales Open for Ford is going to be, at Wollongong for the second year in a row. Look, can't wait for that this week. Co-sanctioned event with the LET. The next 4 events of the women's tour are all co-sanctioned. It's the biggest week in women's golf that's coming up. Starts with the New South Wales Open, then the Women's Classic, then the Australian Open, then the Oz WPGA. So it's the biggest month in Australian golf for women, and we cannot wait for it to get underway. But remember how I told you about the day that I saw Grace Kim play for the first time? When I commentated her playing in one of the men's regional qualifiers at Dubbo. She lost by a shot to Daniel Gale. They went head-to-head. Anytime it was inside 150 or 100, that was just both just throwing darts at each other. And I said then, she'll win a major. I'm going to go again. I'm going to go again and say that the young lady that I saw play and hold off to veteran tour pros in the manner that she did for a 2-shot victory. She beat the former number 1 amateur in the world who grew up going head-to-head with Lydia Ko, used to be a top 50 player in the world in 2019, that was, in Cecilia Cho, Zhongmin Cho, and a lady, Kelsey McDonald, who's been on the LET for over 10 years as a tour regular, has 8 top 10s on that tour, has been to Australia many, many times. These are seasoned pros. And a young lady by the name of Amelia Harris, grew up in Cairns, moved to Melbourne, plays out of Yarra Yarra. As an amateur, just had a 2-shot win, a bogey-free 5-under round at a very tough golf course that people found the going extremely difficult at. Bogey-free, 5-under round, 2-shot win, booked her spot at the New South Wales Open. She's about to head over to college, but Amelia Harris, remember that name. If you don't know now, you do, and you've got no excuses not to follow that career. And I'm going to say it right now, she'll win a major too. I don't want to put undue pressure on.
I love it. Well, you're not putting any pressure on her, but you've made 2 claims at the moment so far, haven't you?
I said I'd buy shares in Declan O'Donovan. I said Grace Kim would win a major, and I'm going to say that Amelia Harris one day will as well. She's 17, mate, and the shots that she played to keep these 2 at bay when she was challenged. Start of the day joint leader. There were several par putts that were over 10 feet that she had to make downhill. These weren't tentative drop-ins, Lynchy. She attacked the hole every single time with her putter. So confident, so quietly confident. There was a bunker shot on 16 from about 100 out. It might have been a little less, but I'm just going to go with 100. She stuck it within half a foot out of a fairway bunker to make a birdie, a crucial birdie to give herself some breathing space. And then birdies are last just for good measure. The assuredness, the confidence, the poise amongst what would be panic for so many others, the calmness in the crisis of down the stretch golf. You've got to go back and watch it. It's belied her years. It has to be seen to be believed. I am a huge fan. I can't wait to see what she does. And she's got college around the corner. She is a star.
Huge praise there from our man, Sammy Hargraves. I love the passion that you show with the women's golf. It's brilliant. Heading off to college. So let's keep an eye on her, as you said, across the next 4 weeks, playing the New South Wales Open. Did you catch much of the magical Kenya Open?
Can't say that I got time to see a heap of the magical Kenya Open. I was hoping that you might be able to update us on that one.
Oh, it is so fun. It's such a fun event. I mean, the story of the week there, I'm going to absolutely butcher the young man's name, but in front of his home crowd, Norwich Kibugu makes eagle at the last to make the cut at the Kenya Open in front of his friends and family. Unbelievable scenes it was over there. If you haven't seen it, we're a little bit late on that. It was on Friday, but unbelievable scenes. Casey Jarvis, your winner. I love the magical Kenya Open. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It just kind of sucks me in. And the big South African, as I said, Casey Jarvis ends up getting it done by 3 shots over there.
Well, and we mentioned Gino Titakun winning the LPGA event in Thailand, so congratulations to her, because that's been a long time coming. It's been high up there on her vision board, or she spoke about how important it was for her to be able to get a win, and she won the Honda LPGA Thailand. She had a shot win over Japan's Chisato Iwai. And Hey Kim came in outright third. Lydia Ko, Hannah Green inside the top 10 as well, which is good for the Oz and New Zealand players. And then Cassie Porter, Carice Davidson, Grace Kim, a little bit further back in the field, but all made the cut. Steph Kyriakou as well, just inside that too. So that would have been a pretty special moment for her. We saw Rory winning at home last year and what it meant to him and the way the crowd responded. It was the same there for Gino.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's marked this down, always wanted to do it in front of her home crowd and home country and in front of her mother. And she got it done. I mean, hopefully this is the catalyst for her to propel herself into the majors this year. And again, we'll be watching very, very closely for the entire year.
We got a scramble before we get to our special guest.
We do. Is it your turn this week?
I think it's my go. So I'm going to throw this one up there, and I'm going to be careful how I preface it. I just got into a conversation with someone about this and I don't want this person to think I'm having a crack at them, but it just got me thinking about this and the conversation that he and I had after it when I noticed him having a little go at AimPoint, and I just was curious as to why he was doing it, and he wasn't really able to give me a definitive answer. And this guy's starting to get some coaching at a really high level of coaching, and I said to him, look, speak to your coach about it, but I think that unless you are a scratch golfer or better, I don't think that coaches should be teaching AimPoint to kids. I don't think his coach has, and he said, no, this is not something I've done with my coach. I just thought it would help me for certain putts. And he's a ripping young man too, and so I don't want him to think this is me having a crack at him. But we had a great conversation about the whys and the why nots, and I told him how I feel as a commentator watching people do it, and the place that I think it may or may not have a game, in my humble opinion. So my question to you is, should we ban AimPoint being taught to anyone who isn't a scratch golfer?
No. This is nice because we're probably going to disagree with this. Until the powers that be decide that AimPoint is a major cause for slow play, or it's a major cause for anything in the game that is unbecoming, or they set the rule that we're not allowing players to do AimPoint anymore. So they used to have the green reading books. They used to have the slopes all over the green in the players' yardage book, which you could purchase. That was when I was playing. You could purchase a yardage book that had green reading maps on it. They've banned that. Now, I don't think you can stop people from coaching something that is tried and true. There is a method to it. It encourages people to learn how to read a green. More importantly, I think for the amateur is actually deciding whether or not it's uphill or downhill. It's baffling how many people just skip over whether or not they've got an uphill or downhill, and they just look at whether or not it's left to right or right to left. If your speed control's no good, you can aim point it and have it the perfect read, and your speed's out, so the read's not correct. So I don't think you can stop people from learning it. I don't think you can stop people from teaching it. I don't think it hurts the game necessarily unless it is slowing down a group beyond measure. I actually personally hate the look of it, of standing anywhere near the hole to get your aim point. I don't like that look at all. but I don't think you can ban it, mate.
And you're the coach, so it's going to be hard for me to argue this with you. But if you're automatically going to that with, say, someone who might be, say, a 15 handicapper, and you're trying to get them down, and they're a young player, and you're going, all right, let's start with AimPoint. Aren't you skipping well ahead of where that person currently is? I mean, isn't that something that you should build up to incrementally over time? And maybe it's like the finishing touch on the way that you go about setting up your putts. Isn't there so many other ways to help someone improve their putting gradually to that point? Whereas I just think that it seems to be the finishing element for some. It's the missing 1% or 0.5% that some of the pros need. And in their circumstance, it could be worth $100,000 that putt. It could be worth $1 million that putt. So I get it. I get that at the professional level, and maybe even the elite amateur level, that these margins can define careers. They're the difference between making the jump to professional, winning a tournament, $1 million, a major, like that. So those are the things you're looking for, just those extra little pieces. But at the level of kids learning, me, anyone that's not an elite amateur or a pro, I think it needs to stay off the course at least, especially if you're playing a Saturday comp. And again, this is not having a crack at this because he only did it once, and I just had a chat to him about it. He's a great young guy, and I always thoroughly enjoy playing with him. And when guys like this are playing, it's the game is in very good hands because they just play it for all the right reasons. They take pride in their performance, and so I don't want it. It got me curious about it and the role that it plays in the greater scheme of things.
I mean, I think you're probably right. I wouldn't if I was giving you a putting lesson, I wouldn't necessarily prioritize your green reading. I mean,
what would you prioritize?
Your speed control. I would be making sure that you continue to practice. Make sure that your putter face first and foremost is pointing where you think it is. Certainly, if you've got 20 minutes to practice your putting a week, which is not much, but if you've got 20 minutes to practice your putting a week, you can improve your putting over the next little while by simply getting yourself a chalk line. This is how I would set it up for you. Get yourself a chalk line from Bunnings or a string line, whatever metric, or you can use a triangular shaped face control, essentially any alignment tool that allows you to line your putter face up correctly with where you think it's pointing. Hit 20 putts or 25 putts from 4 or 5 feet on that alignment based tool. Then I would go straight into my speed control stuff. So from 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, and 5 meters, I'd be just dialing myself in, making sure that from all of those 5 points, I suppose, 4 points, that my ball is traveling past the front of the hole, but finishing short of 2.5 feet behind the hole. So put a tee behind the hole, get 3 balls at whatever level you're at, hit 3 balls, and 2 of those balls have to be past the front of the hole and short of that 2.5 foot tee for you to move back to the next level. If you don't happen to get 2 out of the 3 in, you go back to the previous level that you were at and just keep honing your speed control. Don't worry about whether or not the ball goes in. If it does happen to go in, then give yourself a lifeline. You don't have to drop back a stage if the ball does go in. You can stay at that whatever section you're at the time, but just dial in your speed control and make sure your putter face is pointing where you think it is. That's exactly where I'd start, and that's exactly what I'd be doing for myself as well, to be perfectly honest.
All right, if you've got a view on that, courselanguagepodcast@gmail.com. The role of AimPoint, should we be teaching it to young kids, or is this just the finishing touch for professionals and elite amateurs? What is its place in the game? It's certainly, I think, having a major impact on the pace of play. When we saw that vision of Keegan Bradley, that is it being out of control. That is the vision that has to be the catalyst for the conversation around its place in the game. Because even the broadcasters are about to go to an ad break and come back because the amount of time that was being wasted in that moment. So. And I say that with all due respect to a Ryder Cup captain and an elite player. And it's not a crack at him personally. It's just about the role of AimPoint in the game, and is it getting a little bit out of hand in the way it's been implemented? Inside a foot, 2 feet, maybe.
Can I last point on this as well? Is that like as we spoke about, margins are razor thin at the professional and elite amateur level, as you mentioned. This is somewhat of a roll-on effect because players can't separate themselves at the other end of the bag. You can't be a spectacular driver of the golf ball anymore because everyone's a spectacular driver of the golf ball. Because all you have to do is bash it as hard as you can and get the face within some area of square to what shape you're trying to hit. Your players are trying to find the margins elsewhere because they can't separate themselves at that top end of their bag. So I think this is a bit of a flow-on effect. And look, I don't personally love the look of it myself, until it's deemed unfit for the game. It'll be taught to amateurs worldwide, unfortunately, Sammy.
Well, at Course Language Pod is our Instagram handle as well. We'd love to get your thoughts on that or anything else we should put up as a scramble. Lynchy, you're almost out of time for this week. And as I said off the top of the show, we were lucky enough to be at the Callaway launch of the new Quantum range. And it's always just one of the great nights whenever Callaway get everybody of the family together and launch the next product line. And we were there in force, the Course Language team, and got some great chats that we're going to roll out across the course of this year, whether it be a quick nine with a few or some confessionals here and there. But one guy I was really keen to chat to because he is doing some incredible things in the world of golf and acting now as an inspiration, hopefully, to those who never thought that golf was for them. Well, Dylan Alcott is telling you that, yes, it is for you, because he didn't think it was for him until he caught up with the Callaway team. And I'll let him tell the story, Lynchy, because he's a proud Callaway ambassador, and there is a Guinness course record. There's a Guinness World Record in his sights as well. But our special guest this week on Course Language is a man who's won Olympic gold medals in 2 different sports, a 15-time Grand Slam winner. Dylan Alcott is our special guest on Course Language. This is long overdue to have this man on the Course Language podcast because he is one of my favourites. One of Australia's greatest ever athletes. He likes me to let you know, too, that not only was there Olympic golds in tennis, but also basketball.
That's true.
Dylan Alcott, hello.
Big pump up, pretty washed up these days, mate. But,
well, I wouldn't say washed up.
Yeah, mate, it's great to be here.
15 majors?
15 Grand Slams,
15,
yeah.
well, yeah, sorry, we're talking golf, so I just used the golf pass.
Yeah, I actually won at Augusta and the US. No. So, yeah, 15 on the, I don't think I'll be winning any on the golf course. Maybe with the new Callaway Quantum, you never know. But, yeah, mate, I'm enjoying my golfing life.
Hey, before we get into a quick nine, it's so good to have you on, and Lynchy and I have been saying that we want to have you on for a long time because your golf story is an awesome one. Finished playing tennis, and then all of a sudden just said, I want to play golf, and then Callaway comes in.
Exactly right. I actually did Mick Fanning's golf day. Mick's a good mate. And
if you're going to do any golf day, by the way.
I was driving the golf cart, handing out beers, using a putter as the accelerator, because obviously I can't use my legs. And I met the Callaway team, and they said, "You ever tried golf?" I was like, "Look, it's hard because you lose the lie angle of your club." And they said, "Come down to our headquarters in Melbourne, and we'll see what we can do." And I did a fitting. They bent down the face of all the irons, so they sit a bit flutter, and gave me a 7-iron to start. Said, "Go, see how you go." Went to the driving range every day for a week. I said, "This is working." So I got a full set, and yeah, what are we? 18 months later, I'm off 23 and broke 90 the other day for the first time, which was cool. And most importantly, I'm just bloody loving it because the amount, I put up videos of me playing and a lot of them go viral. And I have messages of people that have had car crashes, had cancer and lost legs, and I didn't know I could play golf anymore. And it hasn't maybe been the most, accessible and inclusive sport in the past, but I know Golf Australia, the R&A, Callaway, everyone wants to show, no matter how you look, what you can do, you deserve to play golf, and we're going to help you out, mate, and it's been unbelievable.
So this has been something that you've become more and more passionate about making golf more accessible. You've gone and got like a chair done that now people can't say you can't go on greens.
Yeah,
like
you can see
I
got this wheel on it, see? So picks up the front wheels so I don't dig into the greens. And, I think that accessibility is one thing, but inclusion is the other. And if people have an unconscious bias that you can't play because they think you can't play, well, that makes it hard. So the fact that, we've been able to break down some doors together. You've been talking about it. It's been awesome.
I've done nothing, but thank you.
It's true, I'm playing at public courses, high-level private courses. I remember at PK, they've been so great down there, mate. I'm just very lucky that a lot of people have welcomed me in and we're getting it done together.
So just explain what it is that you actually do, because I love the fact that you just looked at what that was happening in golf and went, oh, I've been doing that my whole career. So you are essentially hitting what shot with your driver especially?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit like a forehand, but I've learned to keep it on plane. So my driver's going a little bit better than
Lynchie's
it
nodding,
was.
just he hears the word on plane and
Lynchy
his ears
likes
prick
that.
up.
Yeah, he likes that a lot. You know what? Haven't really had any lessons. Kind of taught myself. I am shocked with how it's going. Even I am. Like, I don't play off the fronts. I play off the backs with my mates. And, the fact that you're driving a golf course, your phone's off for 4 hours, you're outside. It's the best thing for my mental health ever. I'm absolutely loving it. And the only thing is, I'm pretty crap in the bunkers because once I get in, I get bogged. So I do get relief. I do get relief in the bunkers. You get it from behind, and then you're underway.
So talk to us about the longest drive as well, because this has been a pursuit that you went and looked up. What's the longest drive for someone in a wheelchair? What did you find?
Yeah,
and what have you done?
The Guinness World Record's 146 metres.
Yep.
And then I did hit one about 220 odd at PK the other day. So later this year, I think, or early next year, Callaway's going to get behind me. I'm going to do a charity golf day for my foundation, the Dylan Alcott Foundation, and get Guinness to come out. They fly out, get around a driving range and break the world record. Imagine if I choke, though. Imagine if I choke. So
that won't happen.
I think you get 10 goes.
15 Grand Slams, multiple gold medals. I think you'll handle the pressure okay. Can we come?
Bloody oath.
Oh, beautiful.
What do you mean, can we come? You'll be coming.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, we do a thing on course language called a quick 9. It's just 9 questions, rapid fire. Earliest golfing memory and earliest golfing influence.
Great question. Probably earliest golfing memory was driving. My dad used to be a member of the National.
Yeah.
And I used to eat the National burger. Literally like the burgers at the clubhouse. And then I used to drive around the car. That's where my love of it really came about.
Yeah.
And then probably my biggest golfing influence, sounds weird, but I remember lying in hospital. I was really sick when I was about 11. Spent 3 months in there, and I just watched Tiger Woods. And I played Tiger Woods golf, right? And I know that sounds like a weird golfing influence, but all I did was play Tiger Woods golf on PlayStation. And it sounds funny, but I know how to read greens because all I did was lie in the hospital bed and play that video game. I swear to God. And I'm actually pretty good.
So in your mind, when you're weighing a putt, you're seeing the grid, you're seeing the line.
I swear to God, that's what I'm looking at.
Is that right?
Yeah, mate. And that's where I learned how to play golf, that video game, and I never thought I'd get the chance. So that's why I'm so lucky that I got the chance these days.
Current handicap?
23 point something.
From?
Down from?
Yeah.
Oh, I was 30. When I got my handicap in November last year, I was 35, so it's coming in.
Lowest round?
88 at Royal Freeway.
Hole in ones?
0 yet.
That's
Can
okay.
I say that I did play around at Southern, private course in Melbourne, and I got up there and I was that close. And when you're that close, you're actually not impressed. You're more sad. I'd rather be
true.
I'd rather be 3 foot away.
Now, it's an easy question, this one. What's in the bag?
Everything Callaway.
Yeah.
I bleed Callaway. I've got a little mini Odyssey Callaway Jon Rahm. It's about this big. Everyone loves the putter. I've got Elite irons, and I've obviously got the new Quantum, which is great.
Home course PK? You've already answered that.
PK.
Favourite course you've played?
The north of PK is my favourite course so far.
If you had to pull out a club from the bag to play a shot to save your life, what club are you pulling out?
I would hit a baby draw 7-wood.
You've already said your favourite golfer is Tiger Woods, so give me 3 people.
Oh, no, hang on. That's what I used to watch. I didn't say it's my favourite golfer.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go with favourite golfer.
My favourite golfers are Min Woo Lee,
Yeah.
Anthony Quayle,
Yeah.
and I love watching Min G do a thing too.
And I like how you've kept that all in the Callaway family as well.
I know what I'm doing.
You know what you're doing. Pick 3 people to go away on the ultimate golf weekend. Who's coming and what's the course?
Lucas Herbert, because he's just good on the piss.
One of Bendigo's finest?
One of Bendigo's finest. We're taking Tiger.
Yep, sure.
Surely. And I'm taking my mate Andy Murray, because he's just started golf and he looks awesome. He can get us on all the good Scottish courses.
That's a really good group. That's a very, very good group. Andy Murray. That's a good group. All right. Now, course language confessional time. Last question that we have. We asked people to tell us the most embarrassing thing that's happened on a golf course, or the funniest thing they've done, or they've seen someone else do.
The launch of the Callaway Elite driver. I brought my driver up. I'm playing Pat Rafter in a 1v1. Got the brand new driver, and I've wrapped the shaft around my wheelchair, and it's snapped in half. And I had to go borrow a junior 9-year-old kid's driver. And then he's like, please don't break my driver. I've got like the national champs next week. I'm like, Pat, keeled over, laughing at me. That was easily my favourite golfing embarrassing story.
There is video of this too, isn't there?
We'll put it in right now.
All right, we are going to put that video in. Dill, absolutely love what you're doing. Love you, mate. Thank you so much for being on Course Language. And we can't wait to play with you.
I'm a golf sticker. I watch you both on the WebEx series on Fox Sports. Walking the greens. I love it, boys. So you're doing a great job. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, mate.
Oh.
Well, mate, how good. I mean, he's just one of the best, one of our greatest athletes of all time. And, it was a joy to catch up with him. And I can't wait to be there when he takes down that Guinness World Record.
Yeah, absolutely. He's an absolute legend. Very down to earth, very easy to talk to. And he's up for a game with anyone. He gets around and plays at Peninsula Kingswood. And I mean, I'm proud to be involved in a sport that is progressing so rapidly, to give, for the opportunity for anyone to play this sport. I think it can be very difficult, and Dylan is proving that with a lot of hard work and quite a bit of skill, mind you, anything's possible. So well done to him. It was great to chat to.
Yeah, and also being proudly associated with a company that said, we can help you. We can make that happen. So well done to Callaway for finding a way for Dill to enjoy this game, because he is just like I am and you are. He is a golf nut. I mean, he loves it just as much as anything he's ever done, whether it be basketball or tennis, and any excuse to get out there he's keen on. And just the way he's been able to do it, and the chair with the right wheel. So if that rings true for you and you're in a similar situation, then reach out to him, because he is more than happy to help anyone get on the right path to be able to participate in this game. And then speak to your course or about how if you're in a chair, what kind of chair, the right kind of wheel, so that you can get on the greens, you can putt, you can get out there and get amongst it as well. So it's a great chat, and we're really proud that and really grateful that he was able to share his story with us, mate. That's it for us. It's been another big week, and it promises to be again. Ford New South Wales Open this week. I cannot wait. We haven't had an Australian winner, since Sarah O back in 2010. So I'm going with Hannah Reeves. I just think that she's been the story of the regional qualifiers. If it's going to be an amateur, it's going to be my Amelia Harris. But I think Hannah Reeves can have the biggest moment of her career after winning 3 out of the 6 of the regional qualifiers.
Well, silly to go past her then, really, isn't it? She has been spectacular across the year. We've also got the New Zealand Open this week on the Australasian PGA Tour, which is in Queenstown at Millbrook. Huge purse, so we could see a little bit of a shake-up on the order of merit on the men's side of things as well. One of my favourite tournaments of all time, the New Zealand Open. I mean, you did a great job last week with your predictor. We've got Zach Murray, who's a former champion. We've got Kazuma Kobori coming back. Ryan Peake won last year. Brendan Jones is a past champion as well. And a whole host of Asian tour and some Japanese touring players as well. So very multicultural list of players who are playing. I'm going to go a little bit off the board here. I'm going to say Maverick Ancliffe is going to go and take it down this week. So keep your eye on him. Fantastic player. And just, look forward to watching that as well. There are no more incredible scenes and beauty than Queenstown in New Zealand. Just spectacular surrounds.
Well, interested to see if Ryan Peake, Anthony Quayle, Dave Micheluzzi would be coming back for this, which would influence my selection. So I'd want to have a quick look at that. But I just noticed that Declan O'Donovan was lurking around the top 10 again on a really tough course. And that performance, I think, holds a heap of merit for me, for Declan. So I might throw Declan O'Donovan as my man to have the biggest moment of his career.
Love that. Well, Wade Ormsby's playing. Ben Campbell's playing, Kiwi, who's been playing on Live. So, I mean, it is going to be jam-packed. We got Chase Koepka, who played this week as well in the lead-up. We've got the who's who, really, of New Zealand and Australian golf playing. So it'll be fascinating viewing.
Mate, it's been a joy as always. Thanks to all the Course Language members for jumping on and having another listen. Get in touch with us at any stage. We'd love to hear your Course Language confessionals. We don't have enough players or people dobbing themselves in each and every week for their funniest stories out on the golf course. So there's no judgment here. This is a safe space. It is a confessional space. We want to hear your Course Language confessionals. And what we might do, Lynchy, I'll speak to our very good friends at Callaway, and we might start a competition for the best Course Language confessional for the year. We're going to throw a prize up thanks to Callaway. I haven't checked this with them, but I'm sure it'll be all right. I might just have to give you one of these hats behind me. But we'll get a prize going for our favourite Course Language confessional of the year. We'll get a decent prize from Callaway. We'll reveal what that will be coming up. And for the best Course Language confessional of the year, we will get a very tasty prize from our good friends at Callaway. So dob yourself in, tell us your story, email courselanguagepodcast@gmail.com or @courselanguagepod. You can voice record your story and we will play it out on the Course Language podcast. Until then, remember, what happens on course plays on Course Language. Oh, and if you are needing some new clothes, Travis Matthew or the OGO bags, jump on the OGO website or the Travis Matthew website. Use Course Language 20 as your bonus code. Get 20% off. I think that's it, Lynchy. What happens on course plays on Course Language.
Absolutely. Hit them well. And don't just dob yourself in, dob your mates in too.
Yes. Yes. Dob everybody in.
Cheers, Sammy.